It's Will from Will Development. Will from Will Development, and this is my 262nd weekly update. One thing I do want to get out of the way first and foremost, there will be no TWO videos for next week. This was my first week back at the gym after the comp. I've been going. I went Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was basically doing a test of my new programming, getting an idea for the numbers I should be using, that sort of thing. And we will resume with my 2 videos the following week. Instead of a 2 video, you will more than likely be getting my yearly update on Wednesday. I plan to record it on Sunday and get it all put together, and then I'll probably release it on Wednesday. That way there's still a video on Wednesday, and we can keep it rolling that way. Yes, yearly update is coming out. I'm going to be grabbing a bunch of footage. Given that I started doing the 2 videos, I have a lot of footage to dig through. So it's going to be basically me just going on my channel and picking which videos I really, really liked and throwing them in there. And plus I'm going to make a new intro, because I do that every year. I kind of come up with a new intro of what was the important stuff from the year. And obviously I have stuff from the comp, yada, 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 yada. All these things you don't care about. All these things that don't really, really matter. Obviously, I had the Summer Scorcher, which is my first comeback competition. My 3rd official competition, my 2nd strongman competition, and my first time in a weighted class. Now, I give a very detailed breakdown of essentially from Thursday night all the way till Sunday. Details in mostly Saturday, and obviously it's me, so I ramble on a little bit. But it's about a 30-minute video. It's coming out on Sunday, so this weekend. I don't know what that date is. But it'll be dropping on Sunday, I think at like 1 a.m. So, you've got all day to watch it if you're curious to watch it. And that video is the breakdown of the competition, including leading up to weigh-ins themselves, things I did Friday, the night before the comp, /day, before the comp, day of the comp, things I did, how everything went, and all that stuff. The full breakdown is going to be over there, a nice 30-minute fat, juicy video. You can dig through everything there and watch it, and, hopefully it's, relatively informative / entertaining for people. But like I said, this week has all just been me testing out my new programming. Learned a lot from just the last peak. Basically how things didn't work for me, what things I should have probably been doing differently, and honestly it feels really good to be out of a prep time. I feel like I have a little more freedom, where it's like, if I don't want to strict press today, I can push press, or vice versa, if I don't want to push press today, I can strict press. Versus when you're at a, leading up to a comp, it's like you need to be doing as close to the comp stuff as possible, sort of like a power lifter. If you're 3 months out from a comp, more than that probably, let's go by weeks. If you're 20 weeks out from a comp, you could probably spend 10 weeks doing safety squat bar, and then 10 weeks in, you could jump right back to a normal squat bar or just a normal power bar and practice your competition squats then, and you'd probably have pretty good carryover and all that, but you probably wouldn't want to be doing safety squat bar, a week out of the comp or 2 weeks out of the comp. You want to kind of get used to using whatever implement you're going to be using at the actual competition, regardless of sport. I would say that's pretty definitive. Specificity is going to be the best thing for any competition. If you have a max weight event, it doesn't make sense to be doing 20 reps with a lighter weight. You should be practicing with a heavy weight, if not that max weight, etc. So it feels very freeing to be in a off-season mode right now. I can work on things I know I need to work on, and like I said, I have a lot more flexibility with the programming, where it's like, if I don't want to do an axle bar, I don't have to. Or if I want to do an axle bar, I can. And things like that. So I really like the freedom that's offering me now. Things that I learned from the comp that, I think I talked about a little bit in that video, but things I'm definitely going to be working on is things like backwards drags. I believe we're going to be getting a sled soon, so I will be incorporating that on some of my training days because that is a very obvious weak point of mine, backwards drags. Thought I was better at it, but was shown the light that I was absolutely not as good at it as I thought I was and potentially could be. And obviously my overhead is a very significant chink in my armor, for sure. Without a doubt, my overhead is not anywhere near where it needs to be for any kind of a competitive placing. Let's just put it that way. So it's something I'm focusing on very, very diligently right now. And when you see the new 2 videos coming out, I'm going to keep it the same style where basically I'm going to be recording my main movements for the day, not so much my accessories. But know that they're going to be very light. They're going to seem very light. You know, squats, they might touch 225 at the end of, 3 or 4 weeks, basically, for 5 or something like that. Not for a single, but for like 5 or something. The pressing may touch 155 or 160, the overhead. The bench, I'm a pretty good bencher, so the bench is probably going to be moving up pretty quick now that I'm back at it. And, the deadlift, I've actually gone back to conventional deadlifts, and that's going to be pathetically low for quite a while because I want to focus very much so on good form throughout all these movements. There's no point in me pushing it right now when I can just push up, push 5 pounds every week or every 2 weeks if I really, really have to. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. There's no reason for me to be pushing it right now. This is the time for me to work on all my weaknesses and really focus on good form with everything. And to that end, one of the things I'm doing now is I have a power bar that I purchased personally, a Texas power bar. It's probably my favorite bar, really good knurling. Definitely my favorite squat bar to use. Minimal whip, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? But it really bites into your back and it bites into your hands, but not in an uncomfortable way. And the sleeves rotate very well. Now, with that in mind, it makes much more challenging of a pushing bar, something where you're doing an overhead or especially bench. I notice it a lot. So to that end, I will be using that bar exclusively for my overhead, my main overhead movement being just standing strict press, as well as for my bench. So again, to that end, I was testing some weights and I was hoping to be able to still do 225 for 10. I sort of forgot I was using that bar that rotates, the sleeves are loose, so it's definitely a weak point of mine is the wrist, locking my wrist in place where it really needs to lock into. It makes the whole movement a little more unstable. So I was still able to get like 225 for 5 even with that wobbly ass bar. So I imagine with a less wobbly bar or a more sleeve that doesn't rotate bar, I'd probably be able to do like 225 for 10 still, which is, it makes me feel good that, even after like 4 months of not benching, I've still got a bit of benching power in me. So benching is back on the menu now, and essentially it's going, treating, the first day where I have a press, standing press, the accessory for that day is going to be, one of them is going to be a bench of some kind, whether it's close grip, incline, that sort of thing, with dumbbells, barbells, it'll change a little bit week to week. I want to really rotate in and out my accessory movements just to make sure I'm really hitting a lot of different little muscles, because I feel like that's what's going to help me the most now. And then the opposite is going to be true for the bench day, where the overhead movements are going to be the accessories, I'll do a standing dumbbell press on the same day I bench and that sort of thing. And, as one of my sets of accessories. I'll do a breakdown on all that stuff later on at some point, maybe, if anybody's actually curious. If you're curious about that, leave a comment below. Also, welcome. I think I'm up to like 119 subscribers now, almost 120. Woo! Which is good for like not self-promoting the channel really at all, and for what it is, 90% of this channel is, well, it's still 90% of this channel is just me talking at a camera about random bullshit. Probably what, 70 to 65 to 75% is just me talking about what happened during the week in very vague terms. Now probably about what, 10 to 15% is actual like training footage, maybe a little more now, probably around 20 to 30. And then, obviously I'm not doing the actual math on these percentages, so, add them up and call me out on it. But, another small portion is probably what, actual information. So to that end, I will be doing some more informative videos coming out soon. The Stone Masterclass is on its way. I still have a review I have not edited, and I keep pushing it off, and I need to just sit down and do that, and that might just get done this Sunday. But I will make no promises on that. In any case, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Looking forward to dialing everything in a lot more and having a little more relaxed training sessions. And, look forward to the perfect form moving for the foreseeable future until the next comp comes up. If you don't, then what's your excuse?